Well, welcome back here to this saga of track testing. As you can see, I was not planning on continuing with this, but yeah, as you remember from yesterday, I tested quite a few tracks, but it was only the ones that I feel like would be the better ones, and also the tracks that were newer, because there are some tracks here that were already submitted before. So yeah, just because they are here doesn't really mean that they're going to be bad or that I think they're gonna be bad. So yeah, I decided to basically just end this and test all of the tracks, just go all the way. So each track has the same chance, or every track has a chance, I guess, of getting my approval in a way. And yeah, also a little disclaimer: if you notice that the video has slightly less quality, because probably have to do it to avoid having stutters. Because yesterday, when racing on one of the Buddha tracks, I have shit tons of stutters and kind of ruins the test a little bit. So yeah, we are continuing with this once again. And there you go, it's the first track now by new one, I don't remember the name now. The ending feels a lot like the beginning of India. And yeah, it's a very big track, and that was one of the reasons why I wouldn't really rate this track pretty high at first glance. Oh my fucking god. And yeah, and I think I was maybe having some hopes that maybe this track would prove me wrong, but seems like it's so long, it's very big. I think it's one of those tracks where Lil One could have easily fixed this by just making it a lot smaller. And by making it smaller, it would also be better in other cases, like what can I say? Like it would be easier to make, a lot less work and all of that. But yeah, it is a very long track, almost 40 seconds for no reason. Also, some of the chicane runoffs make the track a lot easier to drive. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna drive one more lap on this one. Does it really feel like the best track to drive? It's mostly because of being big, it's nothing more. It's too big, which then kills a lot of the turns, in my opinion. For like JL drivers and maybe even some CL and of course AL, this could be a great track for them. But yeah, for me it's not gonna be a good one. It really feels very bland, so yeah, not really much to say. So let's go to the next one. Abu Haim. Night version, I guess, partly because of having Abu Dhabi in here. Now I wonder which one is going to be the reverse. Okay, I see. So it's the Hockenheim part that is in reverse. This is the problem that I have with it, is that we've driven half of it already. Plus, what can I say? I certainly would like to avoid some conflicts because of the track. Also, it doesn't have the entirety of the final parts for some weird reason. Like, it immediately skips. Like, that is not the main straight per se. It's more like the main straight of Hockenheim. And he absolutely just skips the final parts. It's so weird. I really don't want to vote well because of the concept. Like, the concept is interesting, but yeah, he could have picked other tracks. It could be a lot more interesting to see. Plus, it brings out the conflicts, which is what's the real country of this track. And it can easily, things can easily be like manipulated. Because this is something that experienced a bit of an issue once in a while. Like Imola, Cada wanted to consider it to be from San Marino, but the main issue is that the track is not really from San Marino, it's from Italy. And you know, if we allow the cattle to like change the country like that, then it will allow for some people to exploit things. And this becomes crucial when there's a rule where there's a limit number of tracks per country, especially at the time where there can only be one track per country. And so, yeah, nowadays it's just one country that can have 2 tracks and the others can only have 1. So I guess if one country manages to have 2 tracks in the top 8 or something, they can both get in. But if there's another country with 2 tracks in the top 8, I guess whatever country has the worst second track is the one that only gets 1 track in. So yeah, either way, let's see actually test the track itself. I guess what can I say about it? First time it seems kinda hard to do it properly. And the thing is that this feels like almost like the real Abu Dhabi track. Which is weird, but it's like an alternate version of Abu Dhabi. You might say, oh yeah, because there's half of it. Like no, even the Hockenheim parts. It's not too far away from the real Abu Dhabi track. Yeah, well, I guess it was kind of interesting to drive it, but I think to avoid some conflict with things, I rather just vote this one a 1 so it doesn't really get into the calendar. I'm sorry to vote things this way for this track, but I do think that it does have to be treated in a different way. Now I believe this is another Wheel 1 track. It's his 3rd track, with the other one being the first one that we tried in this video, and what was it called? Black Sea. And yeah, the reason why I didn't put this track at first was because of the size. I can see the first part was kind of interesting, but this second one, big long straight, decoration wise is actually quite fine, quite good decoration. The one does have potential, quite a lot of potential with the decoration. Yeah, first part, although the first part is kinda interesting, this part is interesting to learn. But again, it dies out because of being too long. That's one thing that Wheel 1 is gonna have to learn. Do not make the tracks too big. It just kills it completely. That was a mistake that I also did with some of my tracks, especially Los Isle. It ended up being way too big of a track. So yeah, let's... Right. So that wall. The first part is kind of interesting, but then it dies out on the second one. I think big straights are just not interesting with this car, because the car itself just gets up to maximum speed way too quickly. It makes things... It's also a slower car, so it makes like you can't even feel the speed because the car is very slow on the straight line. So I kind of do agree with people when it comes to that the next car should have more speed. But once again, it's way too long of a track. I also am kind of concerned that I might have some stutters on this track when playing with other people online, because of the size of it. Usually the map size really determines a lot whether you have stutters or not. There's like other things like the amount of walls that the track has. But yeah. I don't think I would really vote this track high. It's mostly the science that really ruins it all. Oh, he's hitting the wall there. So yeah, just gonna end this lap, then we can go to the next track. Here, I guess you have to go to the inside, then we go to the outside, to then go on a good entry, then here we can skip this part. Alright, I guess that's it for this track. So let's go to the next one, Hatvan by Hanandi. This one I kind of know already. Holy shit, yeah, it's the quality of this image is left to be desired. No, there's a lot to be desired, I guess. It's interesting but weird at the same time. Actually, it's not as good as I remember it, not gonna lie. Like, out of nowhere, doesn't seem like that much of an interesting track here. It's a very blind final turn, or penultimate turn. It's like the final braking zone, I guess. And here we have to keep it on the inside, and here we turn. Yeah, this part is way too large. And oh my god, why are you having stutters out of nowhere? What the fuck? Out of nowhere the game became a little bit framey. I mean, the final turn I have to try and do better there. Right, here we keep it on inside, kinda easy turn. Oh, could almost do that flat out. Here I guess we don't really need to brake that much. But yeah, not sure what to say about this track. Can actually see why this track wasn't that successful, I think. At first now I can kind of see why. Yeah, let's try now. Inside. Oh, kinda hitting some good lines here. It would be interesting to have a track that says Apligas at some point. But okay, there it's better to just turn it early and then brake later when you can. It's all about how can you control that visual part of the lack of vision. Because again, it's what I call when you are to the blind turn. It's when the turn just appears so freaking late. Usually it's in the, like the corners of the map where this happens. You can see, ah, Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm not sure exactly what to say about this track. I don't think I'm gonna vote it very highly on this one, not gonna lie. Now, Valencia. I'm about to show you why I hate this track for online racing. For offline it's cool, like to have it in a career mode where you're around the early 2010 seasons. Okay, this is grass now. Oh, there is not grass. Okay, there is one grass. This is not grass for some reason. Okay. I need to see because I remember that some parts were now edited. But yeah, I was one of the guys that told Nandi to make a second version because the first one had quite some issues. It was very tiny. For racing it was terrible, very dangerous. This one clearly does improve in terms of safety. But then, like, the drivability of it, it's so boring. Like it's so freaking boring. The chicane is not that interesting to make. It's just a very speedy track. Literally, this track is in the UV because of being a speed track, nothing more. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I think if we could make the track smaller and make some of the parts more interesting to drive, like the chicanes and all of that, this track will become so much better. But yeah, decoration wise, it looks amazing. Looks very full, like a lot of things. It does feel like a city. But you know, decoration is not gonna be enough for me, and I'm gonna be voting 1 on this one to vote for making it to the calendar. I'm sorry, but I'm just not the biggest fan of this track. Now we got the real Abu Dhabi. I wanna try those pits to see how do they feel like. Also, I believe these blue parts, yeah, these are road. Although that one on the inside on the airpin wasn't. But yeah, this one is not really a new track for me now. And yeah, let's see. Very interesting track actually to drive. I remember when we had the Power League race here. I think it actually destroyed everyone on that race. Because you know, it's a competition about learning the track, and this one I think was like a 20-second gap. Very actually crazy. So yeah, let's see. It does have some interesting moments. Should give it a 3 at least. Although some parts look a little bit kind of boring to drive. Very long straights. Although I don't know. Let's go into the pits on this lap. I like this part here. Interesting one. Okay, let's not pit this time because I'm literally driving with 0 tire wear. Also, I believe the track might have the same issue that the Skip's track had. I'm not too sure. But yeah, like Barnley had that issue of the crossover pits causing some issues. When it came to the checkpoints and stuff, like the HUD would be wrong for any tire lap. It would put you in last after you pit, which is not ideal when we have ghosted blue flags and out of nowhere some of the lap drivers will not be ghosted for an entire lap, and that's just causes a lot of trouble. So yeah, it's one of those things that's not sure if I really would like to have the track because of that. But yeah, not sure it. Some parts are kind of interesting, but other parts are a little bit bland at the same time. And yeah, not sure what to say about this one. I think I'm just gonna finish on this lap and that's it. This is the part that I like the most of it, but that's just it. Also quite different from the Goose version, which I believe it's a little bit better for driving. Alright, so the next one. Let me see how many tracks do I have. So we got 12, 15. So let's see, I'm testing the 7th one. The next tracks seem like they're a little bit faster to the test, maybe. If I could only see how longer this video is taking, that would be so useful. Okay, 20 minutes, actually I can see it. Okay, so let's try this one. Blackwood, oh, it's the different direction. I thought this would be anti-clockwise. Why so many stutters for such a small track? Jesus Christ. Okay. I feel like I would, even though the track is small, I thought I could maybe find it interesting somehow, but I don't think I longer think that. It is really nothing special. But yeah. You barely brake on this try, like come on. I thought that part at the end will be more interesting, but once again it's too big of a track. Even then it's only 21 seconds, so yeah, no way this track could ever make it. Yeah, it's way too easy of a track. It's literally the Formula Sports 2 of it, but it's a track, like very easy, like in the turns, you barely brake, spend a lot of time on maximum speed. Like, yeah, I'm not really gonna, I don't think I need to drive more laps on this one. So, yeah, so that means we can still do one more track on this part, and then we'll then make the final part of this whole track testing saga. So yeah, now we got Vallelunga. Okay. Driving this track on the vertical direction is kind of weird, especially when we have especially when I've driven Hyperion's version quite a few times. I think that one, layout wise, is a lot more interesting than this one. It's cool that it has pits on the right side, but the track is just too long once again. I really do find this hairpin section interesting. Would have to be divided between a 2 or a 3, actually. But maybe it's gonna be a 2 for me, because it feels a bit bland in certain parts. Like this whole fast session, which takes a lot, and it's right at the beginning of the track, where it means that there's gonna be chaos in certain parts. Let's see if I can make, yes, yeah, I managed to make this part better. And I think Hyperion's version is better than this one. Not sure if it's more realistic. I really don't know 100% how does it look in real life. But driving wise on Hyperion's version, I think it was better. Even though I was very annoyed by the cars being so tiny. Here Molly is going wide on that turn. Also the direction, I don't really get the choice of doing the track like this. Like in the vertical orientation. I always felt it's so cursed. But yeah, it's not exactly a bad track. Okay, so I managed to do it properly. Let's see if I can make. Okay, didn't manage to actually do it decently, I guess. But yeah, just one more lap I guess and we can finish this one. Not sure, I'm not really gonna rate this one that high. Also the integration wise kind of lags a little. Oh, I guess it's okay. So yeah, but it's very sort of bland with some of the parts. It's quite easy to drive. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm really gonna rate this one high. And yeah, that's it. So for this part number 4, I guess next part will be the final one where we're gonna test the final 7 tracks that there are still to test. So yeah, see you very soon.